Hello, Bobby here, Full Tilt Weather. We're going to talk about the weather event today, Wednesday, for the 2nd and the 8th, the 2023. National Weather Service has a slight risk out for portions of Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, and a marginal extending all the way up to almost Chicago, Illinois, all the way down to around Galveston, Texas. This slight risk is being pushed by a 5% tornado chance. The marginal risk is including a 2% tornado chance. More than likely, in the next 2 hours, there will be an enhanced moved along this line. But we're going to go ahead and move over to the models now. This is the NamNest 3 outruns for today. So expecting a pretty strong line between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, pushing right across the Texas Louisiana border. These little frontal discretes could become an issue earlier in the day. That is a possibility, but not a likely possibility because the jet's probably going to lock in a little later in the day. More towards the afternoon. Now this is the line that all the models are kind of worried about right here. And maybe some of these prefrontal discretes. So you begin to see you have a possibility of some smaller, more discrete clustered cells moving along Arcadia and Monroe, moving up into the southeast side of Arkansas. This line will definitely be a 60-mile-an-hour wind threat with possible spin-up tornadoes. Anything out in front of this line is capable of possible large tornadoes. This is a possibility. The numbers are extremely high currently. Maybe not extremely high, but pretty high. So this is the HHRR. Showing tornado probability right along that line. As that jet locks in, there being a 4-hour period of just maxi possible tornadoes. Now the question's going to be is how much of this is going to be in that linear line and you get little spin up rotation tornadoes versus how much is going to be in the discrete line in front that could be capable of larger tornadoes. And we'll move over to the NamNest and showing relatively the same thing here. We can take a run from this right here. That's going to be about 30-35% chance of tornadoes right through there. We're going to take one run. I know a lot of people don't like this, but this is how real meteorology is done. And it takes forever in a year. But, okay, so we're going to go ahead and move over to the rain probabilities. Going out 60 hours, most of this is expected to happen by 10 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I do believe a lot of this will be wrong. There will be more down along Louisiana, Arkansas border in East Texas. Total precip accumulation models are usually wrong, just like snow models. It's just, you would think precip would be the easiest thing in the world of meteorology to figure out. It's not. It's actually very, very complex. But here's our run, and we took that for right around El Dorado. That'd be a little bit west of El Dorado, Arkansas. So shearing extending up to about 60,000 feet. LFC's good. 1017 megajoule Cape. Inflow's about 67 mile an hour southwesternly. Inflow. This is something that we've seen this year that a lot of meteorologists and a lot of people like myself have talked about. This extremely high ceiling shear. This is very identical to what we saw in Houston earlier this year. Very identical to what was seen, moving into the setup before Selma that killed, 37 people? With the 3 isolated cells moving out of Meridian, Mississippi and breaking across Alabama. This is a very identical setup, and it's very unusual. Before them 3 setups, this is I'd never seen anything like it. When Selma happened, I was like, what? This is extremely odd, because you usually don't get shear moving up above the 40,000 feet sector. So this is a large, extremely large wall of shearing at about 70 mile per hour ground level, extending to probably about 170 to 190, all the way up at about 60,000 feet, because you can see it begin to turn up at about 60,000 feet here. Very, very dangerous line, definitely capable of tornadoes. Does not matter what mode we remain in, whether it be linear, clustered, or discrete. These are definitely going to be capable of tornadoes. The question is will they be large or will they be small? And that's extremely hard to figure out right now, because that run would indicate more spin up linear rotation due to being in 1000 megajoule cape. You're dealing with a dying linear line. But some of the model runs has shown up to 2200 megajoule. This could be a very dangerous environment, moving primarily right across this area right in here. I'll just draw it out. This is our primary area of possibility. If you live in southeast Arkansas, or you live in central or northeastern Louisiana, this is likely. There could be some tornadoes along this line, all the way even out past the marginal risk, maybe. Maybe right on that risk, right in that area. And another probability is going to be Mississippi. Mississippi is downtrend a lot over the last 28 hours. Mississippi is really downtrend, and most models are believing a very strong linear line occurring right in between 40 all the way down to about 49, including the I-20 corridor. Could be some pretty strong cells. We're going to go ahead and push the model out forward a little bit more. As you see, these cells that are this little moisture catches in front of it, all of these could be discrete cells. It's a possibility. Then you begin to see it fade right in here. Breaks in the linear line. That's not good. These are what are called segmentations. So linear segmentation, so you begin to get rotation down towards the bottom of the cell, much like the 2016 Hattiesburg hit at 2 o'clock at night, or the 2018 El Reno tornado that rated EF3. Very identical to them kind of cells. And you begin to see stuff pushing out into Mississippi. The models are thinking, because this is going to be about 9 o'clock at night, that this area loses most of the heating. So these cells become dormant moving into Mississippi primarily. The question is going to be does the line move a couple hours quicker? If it does, well, Mississippi's in it. If it doesn't, well, Mississippi could stay with just, a pretty low end risk. Mississippi and Louisiana and Arkansas is definitely the primary area. And as you can see, we begin to get more breaks as that linear line kind of tightens back up right here. This has been the run right here that's all the models for the last like 7 hours have thought between the 8 and 10 o'clock at night time frame of there being multiple tornadoes on this line. And that's going to be extending from just east of Little Rock, right around Starsea, south of Starsea on I-40, all the way down to a possibility of just north of Opelousas on 49. So, Dale, Winnsboro, Natchez, Louisiana. You have a lot of areas in this that are capable of larger tornadoes. These are more very possible spin up style tornadoes. But overall, that's kind of what we're looking at today. I'm probably going to catch a little bit of sleep, look at the new models when I get up. We'll be heading out to towards Louisiana this afternoon. Probably be around Shreveport about 2-3 o'clock this afternoon. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm out of here.